Hello, and welcome to ZooMed's Power of the Sun series. In this episode, we'll be going over ultraviolet B, how it benefits your pet reptile, and how you can properly provide it in their habitat. Let's get started. Ultraviolet B, or simply UVB, are the wavelengths of energy within the sun's electromagnetic spectrum between ultraviolet C and ultraviolet A. UVB is essential for a variety of a reptile's biological processes. In nature, they receive it naturally by basking in full or indirect sunlight, managing their exposure to their unique needs throughout the day. On a literal surface level, UVB provides several immediate benefits for your reptile's skin. It kills harmful viruses and bacteria, helps with their skin's immune system, and directly influences melatonin levels. Inside reptile skin, UVB exposure initiates a reaction that creates an unrefined version of vitamin D3, simply referred to as pre-D3. As we'll go into shortly, D3 is an important vitamin for bone and muscle development. With the help of infrared, the part of the sun's radiation we recognize as heat, this pre-D3 can be synthesized further into a version that reptiles can use in their body's biology. So what makes vitamin D3 important? Your pet's liver and kidneys convert vitamin D3 into an active form of vitamin D, a key vitamin that supports a number of your pet's organs but is most directly responsible for their calcium metabolism. Calcium metabolism is the process that allows your pet to absorb and use the calcium that's in their diet. Calcium is essential for bone and teeth growth, as well as the body's muscle movement and nerve communication. Without UVB, heat, and vitamin D3, reptiles can't use the calcium from their diet, which will cause a reptile's body to extract the calcium from their bones, leading to a soft or weakened skeleton. This calcium-deficient state is referred to as nutritional secondary hyperparathyroidism, or more commonly, nutritional metabolic bone disease. NMBD can lead to deformities of the spine, broken legs, and soft jaws, or, in extreme cases, even death. In the wild, it's easy enough for an animal to get UVB from the sun, but for reptiles kept indoors, there are a couple of things to know and do. For starters, never place a glass terrarium in direct sunlight. Glass windows block most of the sun's UVB, and putting a glass enclosure in direct sunlight may accidentally create a greenhouse effect, overheating your pet. Not good. Instead, it's best to rely on specialized UVB light sources that you can directly control. We'll go over the different types of UVB lighting and how to set them up in another episode. For now, the most important thing to know is that every type of UVB bulb offers a unique UVB intensity, spread, and range. Understanding these factors will help when choosing a UVB source that pairs well with your pet's unique species, habitat setup, and how far your pet is from the UVB source. For example, it may be easy to assume that a 10.0 UVB bulb would produce more UVB than a 5.0. But due to the power available and the type of lighting technology used, like comparing a compact fluorescent to a T5 bulb, this may not always be the case in terms of range and spread. Alternatively, a UVB bulb may have the appropriate intensity and range you need, but lack the spread needed to cover your pet's unique habitat in an optimal way. Always review and set up your UVB source according to the manufacturer's instructions or distance suggestions for the best and safest results. The ultimate goal in choosing and setting up your UVB source is properly creating something called a UVB gradient. A UVB gradient allows for varying degrees of UV intensity, or Ferguson zones, throughout your pet's enclosure. Each Ferguson zone is scaled to represent a different type of UVB exposure in nature, like direct and filtered sunlight. An ideal habitat includes access to the range of Ferguson zones that best represents the natural habitats of the species you're keeping. When it comes to selecting a UVB bulb, there are 3 main steps to consider. Step 1. Research the Ferguson zones your pet dwells in. Step 2. Measure the dimensions of the enclosure, as well as the distance from your lamp to your pet's basking site. And Step 3. Select your UVB source that best accommodates those factors. For example, a giant day gecko should be kept in a habitat that has a UVB gradient as high as Ferguson Zone 3, all the way down to 0. This best represents the UVB intensity they experience in nature, while allowing them the space to self-regulate their UVB exposure. Reptiles should have access to UVB about 10 to 14 hours a day, or about the same amount of time that the sun is naturally out. This UVB cycle can be beneficial to almost every animal, even if they aren't strictly active during the day. So now you know how important UVB is for your pet and what you should look for when selecting a UVB source. In this section, we're going to go over the best practices for monitoring your pet's UVB and making sure that the UVB they're receiving remains suitable. It's crucial to be actively aware of your pet's habits. Recognizing unusual behaviors when it comes to basking is a quick way to know that something may be wrong with your pet's UVB. If your pet is excessively basking, it may mean that they're receiving insufficient UVB or heat. If they're actively avoiding their basking area, it may mean an excess of UVB or heat. Reptile skin may be hardier than our own, but overexposure can be just as damaging to their skin and eyes if set up incorrectly. If you notice these behaviors, reassess the type of UVB lamp that you're using, as well as the type of fixture and its placement. Fixtures with reflectors can dramatically increase UVB output, sometimes even doubling it, while the metal screen mesh on top of enclosures can block UVB output to various degrees depending on the mesh size. UVB lamps also naturally degrade with use over time and may not produce the level or intensity of UVB they did when first installed. Check the manufacturer's recommendations for when they should be replaced. For Zoo Med UVB lamps, we recommend they be replaced once a year. You can find UVB reminders and details on lamp recycling on our website. And that brings us to the end of this episode. We hope you've enjoyed this short deep dive into ultraviolet B. If you have any other questions about UVB, feel free to comment on this video. Make sure to check out the other episodes in our Power of the Sun series to learn more about the varying wavelengths of the sun and how to provide them for your pet. Take care!